Hey, welcome back, guys. This one is going to be a quick one today. I just wanted to check in because something that one of you all dropped in the comments reminded me of something that I read Joey Badass say almost a year ago now in his Complex interview directly following the end of Raising Kanan Season 3. And it offers us more clues and insights into Unique's character in particular and what type of time that he may be on whenever the Season 4 trailer drops and season at large. But before I start, I just want to say I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. I hope you got everything you wanted, and even if you got some things you didn't want, I hope you're making good use of it. I hope you're as happy as Ronnie is in this picture right now that I'm putting up on the screen. Yeah, I hope you're as happy as him right now with his little Christmas hat eating Cheerios. I hope you're somewhere doing your version of that, okay? And as always, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit the bell notification for more videos like this in this style, okay? This is gonna be a little more of a looser one, more of a conversational type of vibe, similar to my podcast style, which, by the way, if you haven't accessed it, all free members and paid members of my Patreon channel get access to the RPM Power Podcast. All you got to do is join the Patreon. You can join it for free, and you can get access to that episode and every subsequent episode. The podcast is something I'm doing absolutely free for the people, all right? Just to keep you guys updated on any news that comes out. If I got to talk about it real quick, it's something that I can just get to and access real quick without having to make a boatload of content for it, okay? So I hope you all enjoy. Once again, please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel if you're not subscribed. If you're old, welcome back. And if you're new, welcome. My name is Rudy P. Magic. And yeah, let's get into this. So this is a comment that I saw from someone named @SplashMalone. And even under the comment, I actually said I was going to address it. So I want to make sure I make good on that. But Splash said, unpopular opinion. Unique gets framed for the murders, but gets off due to his uneasy state. Probably gets off due to his conditions. We do see Unique at the scene. And the scene that he's talking about, of course, is the scene of Ronnie and Detective Howard's murder, where we got the big reveal that Unique was still alive, was in the direct aftermath of both of those men getting offed in the finale of last season. So Unique walks up and he almost has like a somber type of look. And not because he's remorseful at the fact that he's lost his brother, but almost like he's remorseful at the fact or lamenting the fact that he wasn't the one who initiated and carried out that execution. Because for all the fog that's currently taking up Unique's brain and his mind state right now, he does remember how he got there. Even if it's in a different version or if his recollection is a little off, he does know that his brother attacked him and placed him in the state of being that he's in now. And so we see him look down and then look up. And then if you remember, the screen just cuts to black. Even prior to that, when you look closely at that scene when Rock and Kanan pull up, you see someone off to the side watching them, holding them in their own gaze. You don't see the figure quite yet, but you do see that they are indeed being watched. So Unique was definitely at the scene. Now, do we know what kind of clues that he might have left, or, you know, if he left something that could possibly trail or connect back to him? That remains to be seen. We'll have to see that this winter as Starz continues to tell us in regards to Raising Kanan Season 4. So that's something that we've yet to confirm or even we've yet to know. We do see Unique wearing all black. He's in like typical, I guess, New York City attire especially for the era. And I'm trying to remember if I remember correctly, he crops his down, but I don't know if he outright touches Ronnie or leaves any fingerprints. And two, remember this, Unique, as far as everyone else is concerned, is dead. He was missing on the streets. And I think Howard had referenced this when Rock was trying to get some information. You know, they were a team for a quick little second before Rock had to hit the button on him, you know. But if I remember correctly, Howard was the one who confirmed that Unique was missing in Raising Kanan Season 3 towards like the latter half. I think an episode directly following the attack on Unique, which would have been episode 306. Rock gets information from Howard, and Howard is the one who says, hey, you know, as far as we know, he's a John Doe, he's missing, you know? So if that's the case, it would be almost like Tommy, at least before they were aware of him actually still being active and being alive, but it would be like Tommy doing something, although the feds believed him to be dead, you know? It's like, it's hard to trace, or it's impossible, not hard, but it's impossible to trace something back to a dead man. That would be difficult. But the part that stuck out to me in this comment, he said Unique gets framed. And it reminded me of something that Joey Badass said in this article, again, that he did with Complex, this interview he did for Complex way back in February of this year. So it's February of 2024. We're still in 2024. Hopefully this gets out before that, right? Before 2025 hits. So almost a year ago, he did this interview and he spoke about the return of Unique and what that meant to him, what that meant to the fan base, all of that, right? But there's an interesting segment that I like to remind you all of. And, you know, if you walk down memory lane with me, the interviewer from Complex asked Joey, and they said, quote, in the finale, Kanan shoots Ronnie, who is Nick's brother. Do you think that's going to cause some tension between him and Rock? How do you feel about that? And Joy responded with this. Well, I think, in that last scene, I think he definitely feels a way that he was not the one to put the bullet in Ronnie's head. But I think he's also been gone so long that he might have conjured up his own story of what really happened. Then Joey continues with, you know what I mean? Understanding that Kanan and Ronnie were working together, you could only imagine it gave Unique the impression that maybe he was set up. Maybe they all conspired against him. So I think his sentiment is this: revenge on everybody. So Joey is basically saying here, without saying it or giving us the plot for season 4, which I'm sure even at that time they had given him the bones to how it was going to unfold. As far as his character arc. But Unique is going to be on a rampage. And he's on a rampage because he believes that he was betrayed. Remember, you got to take into account the effects, which I won't go through all of the effects here, but take into account the fact that his mind is not right. He has a traumatic brain injury, or TBI. If you look at my other videos where I've kind of chronicled that, it speaks to him being in a mental place where things are very cloudy, they're fuzzy, and they are inspiring actions that may not be governed by clarity. And one thing that alludes to this, even in what Joey said, is this: he might have conjured up his own story. Conjure means that he just made up some shit based on how he perceived it to be, but not based on reality. This is why, again, in my last video, which is a short from the podcast episode, I kind of snipped it out, to put it out for you guys so you all can see it in full. But from that snippet, you can see I detailed Unique throwing that Molotov cocktail through the Golden Pavilion. Well, he's doing that because in his mind, he's moving vengefully against Rock because Rock has wronged him. Rock, Kanan, Ronnie, they were all in it together. And his last memory of Rock was one of them two being close. But he's always going to associate Rock with Kanan because to Unique, both in his correct state of mind and now, as we are seeing, even in his incorrect state of mind, there's nothing Kanan's gonna do that Rock won't allow him to do. And remember this too, the last thing Unique knew of Rock was that she was out the game. So assuming Unique has been lurking around all this time and spying in the shadows, almost like how his brother was doing, especially in those earlier parts of Raising Kanan season 3, assuming Unique was moving like that, he's seeing Kanan and Ronnie working together. He's seeing Kanan in the game. And then he's also likely spied on Rock to a degree. He's seeing that she took over his old establishment and has maximized on the potential that was set out by him even scouting it. He's seeing this, and he's probably in his own mind associating Rock's actions with Kanan's actions. What he's lacking is context. He doesn't understand that Rock and Kanan have been at odds pretty much since his fall demise, right? I say fall meaning fake demise. He doesn't know that that time in between episode 5 and episode 10, which we actually see him reappear, has been some of the worst of times for Kanan and Rock's relationship. And that everything that Kanan's been doing on the hustle front, even linking with his brother, has been in direct opposition of his mother and her influence over him. Unique don't know that. So and I love that Joey said this, shout out to Joey, by him even saying that, he's saying that there's gonna come not just a conflict between he and Rock, but him and Kanan are gonna have some words about this whole situation. And now that confrontation is gonna dictate a lot as far as narrative for not just this upcoming season of Raising Kanan, but for the entire saga that is Power. Because the outcome of that confrontation directly affects the Breeze theory. Because if Unique is truly Breeze, as I've posited that, I've kind of put that out there in over the years, especially pretty much since the first season of Raising Kanan. We knocked on that door for a little while, right? But how can Unique be Breeze, even in this altered state, when he can't clearly assess things? Like, how is this the person that's supposed to teach someone the game or bring them on as an understudy and expand the knowledge that they've already acquired from the game when that sharpness that's supposed to keep you in the game is fleeting? It's something that you're chasing after with every conclusion that you jump to. It's going to be interesting to see. Could Unique even train anyone in his current state? Could he bring someone up that he has a miscalculation about? Now, just because they have beef maybe in the short term, doesn't mean that's where their relationship will end come the finale of season 4. Because over the span of the entire Power saga, we've seen people be enemies one day and then allies the next day. If we go back even to Ghost and Kanan, this was the dynamic in their relationship. They were allies and then they had turned enemies. And then they had became allies again, for a time prior to Kanan being taken out. It's not impossible or beyond comprehension. And someone else, where's my brother at? Oh, another comment that I wanted to, that actually lends credence to this entire theory. Brother Demarcus Vaughn, well, shout out to you, man. You comment on a lot of my stuff. You show a lot of love, and I appreciate you. But Brother Demarcus, he said, remember that Unique torched Lulu's home when his crew was beefing with Rock. And Unique is definitely torching the Golden Pavilion because Rock took Unique business from Quan. Now, that's something, when I saw that, I had totally forgot about that. You know, and I've seen Raising Kanan in full a couple of times. But Unique did indeed try to kill Lulu way back. That was his go-to move, his signature, if you will. It was to light up that Molotov or send someone who would light that Molotov up and, you know, burn people to a crisp. That was his thing. So in all of the things that has changed his newfound mental capacity, there are still some holdovers from that old person. And if his violent methods are a holdover, then some of his virtuous ones are likely there as well. Although Joey and many others have confirmed that this will indeed be a new person, but those old inclinations are going to be pulling at him. And I think we're going to see that. In that same article, though, Joey does expound on this newfound mind state that Unique is going to have as well. The interviewer asks him that, and I know that you are in production now for season 4. Can you tell us a little bit about what fans can look forward to in that season? And Joey responded with, well, fans, I'm sorry. What they could look forward to is, you know, you got to understand this character Unique. He was beat nearly to death, and his head was bashed in with a metal object. Bone fragments were found on the weapon. So fans got to understand that the Unique that they did know is dead, and this is a totally new version of this character. I think it's going to be interesting to see how people react to how Unique is now, because this is the 90s. But you could imagine that he has some version of CTE, and he's just not the same anymore. He's not the same in his head, in his mind. He's different. That's going to be something that they lead with. I think the way that they're going to highlight that difference is Unique is going to do something extremely outside the confines of his old character archetype, right? So the things that we've known him to be, that cool, laid back, kind of suave, you know, ladies man, that type of piece, he's going to do something that is totally contrary to that person. And that doesn't bode well. I'll tell you this, I'm concerned about his baby's mother, who they flirted with, you know, her death in season 3. Not her death, but I'll say they flirted with her safety. You know, they kind of dangled her in front of Ronnie a few times as if he'd do something treacherous to her, right? When she found out that Unique's return, if the tagline that it's revenge on everybody is truly maintained and held dear or held true by Unique, for all we know, he could rope her into this setup attempt because it's always the closest to you. So we'll see. Unique is going to have one hell of a journey, but we do have little insights and little clues. So I just wanted to do this video to kind of gauge where they might take his story and his narrative based on the breadcrumbs and the Easter eggs that we've been left. But what do you guys think of all of this? How do you see Unique's character changing for the better in certain respects and for the absolute worst in the primary respect? What's the first thing you see Unique doing that goes against everything we ever knew him to be? You leave me that prediction in the comments below. As always, I thank you for watching today's video. If you liked today's video, go ahead and drop $1 on the Cash App for us, hit the like button, share it with your friends who are Power fans, and subscribe for more content such as this. This is Rudy P. Magic of Rudy P. Magic Beats, and have a blessed one until the next one. Peace, y'all.
I'm Rudy Magic.
Rudy, chop it up.